Hey, and welcome back to all the 6 people who are watching. Today we are going to review the first episode for Paranoia and Agent. Normally I wouldn't do like reviews for each episode, but I feel like this series kind of deserves it. Uh, yeah, so let's get right into it. Okay, so the first episode follows this girl. Can't remember the name of her. Um, Yeah, and she's under a lot of stress. Wait, no, no. Yeah, she's under a lot of stress, and because she has to make this make this character, because the last character she made was really popular, and yeah, I so she's under a lot of stress, and when she goes back home, she sees a tiny old lady walk past her, and so she's a bit scared as she's also a bit insane. So she runs to a parking lot where she drops all her stuff. When she goes to pick up one of her pages for one of her noodles, she gets hit by a 6th grader with a bat. Yeah, and also I forgot to say, at the start of the episode, it had a bunch of people lying. I feel like that's going to be a major point throughout the rest of the series, people lying. That's why they showed a bunch of people lying. And I also feel like it was supposed to be a movie for some reason. Um, and when she wakes up, she's being questioned by a bunch of detectives trying to figure out, and they all think she's insane. And, because there was, a bunch of false reportings, until this, sort of journalist keeps on stalking her so he can, get some money. And, yeah, and when one day when he's following her, he gets hit by the same kid. And so now they all believe that it actually was real, and they're just oh my god, it was a preschooler. Well, no, it wasn't. It was a middle schooler. Oh my god. Uh, yeah. So all of them are shocked because it actually turned out to be real. We also, at the end of the episode, we also get to hear his voice. I think this is, we don't see his face, but we hear his voice. So I think that's a pretty big clue. Okay. We're 2 minutes into this. I'm going to stretch this out to 8 minutes. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So let me tell you about my overall thoughts of this episode. I thought it was really, really good. I loved the animation. It reminds me of sort of like Fooly Cooley's animation mixed with a bit of Devilman's. Oh yeah, speaking of Devilman, the studio behind that's making a Scott Kramer anime. I love the comic book and I love the movie. Can't wait to see that. Yeah. So yeah. And yeah, it reminds me of like a sort of mixture of both. It also reminds me of Tokyo Godfathers. I haven't watched that movie, but I've seen a trailer for it. Eventually I'll watch it. Um, yeah. Yeah, but it's also giving me, the animation's also kind of giving me like Perfect Blue vibes, probably because the director for Tokyo Godfathers also directed that. Um, yeah, so I really like the animation. The voice act, I watched the English dub for it. I know, I'm I'm a menace. I'll wait for my space. Yeah, yeah, I watched the English dub for it, so I'm a menace to society. Oh no, I'm not. I just. Oh yeah, I forgot. We find out that she is insane because the popular character that she made starts talking to her, and later in the episode, when her handkerchief falls in the water, she seems really sad because it had her character on it. But I think it has something to do with her past and why she's so insane. Yeah, well, other than that, the music. I there wasn't much in it that I remember, So scratch the music. Yeah. Um. I know it's a mystery show. I only seen the first episode so far, but I feel like I need to review the every episode separate. Actually no, yeah, I've seen the second episode. That's why I'm reviewing every episode separate, because it's sort of like an anthology series mixed with an actual coherent story. Um, yeah. Uh, yeah. Let me talk about the characters. So the two detectives. Obviously it's like your classic good cop, bad cop. Um, but I feel like there's something special about this one. Like I know it does remind me of like other good cop, bad cop movies, but it just kind of feels special. Like something more is going on there. Um, yeah, and okay, so the detectives, I like their character. The journalist, oh, I hated him. I hate all journalists. Yeah. Yeah, so I hate the journalist. Yeah. He was just like he was a obviously intentional hateable character, and I think they succeeded on that. But he's just such a perv too. Yeah, and yeah, that's oh yeah, and the insane girl. Uh, yeah, like I said before, I do think there's a reason why she's so insane. Maybe they'll reveal it in a later episode, but I think they'll do a Pulp Fiction and not like fully reveal it, but hint at it. Yeah, I'm talking about Pulp Fiction because of the watch thing. Yeah. Uh. Yeah, and you can tell her colleagues are pretty jealous of her because she made a really popular character for in Moneymaker for the company. Um, yeah, so overall, I give this episode a 9.7 out of 10. I I can't really the reason why I didn't give it a 10 is because I can't really remember any of the music in it, if there was any music at all. And so yeah. Uh, I finished the episode like an hour ago, so but yeah, most things that I watch, the music that they play, I remember for these reviews. But okay, yeah, so I give it a 9.7 out of 10. I hope you enjoyed. Please go check out my Twitch. It's spelled SAMMY. To yeah, there's some numbers. I'll link it in the description. Go check out my Twitter. Spelled the same as this, but with only one M. And oh yeah, check out my VODs